The Spin-off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Talo for Lover. I'm Madeline Chapman, editor at The Spin-off. If you have the means, consider supporting our high-quality journalism by becoming a Spin-off member. Sign up now at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
It's 2010. Susan Boyle boasts the top 2 selling albums in Aotearoa for the year, and some bloke called Taika Waititi puts out a movie called Boy. Alison Moore is outed by Women's Day, and her breakfast co-host Paul Henry is suspended, then resigns after being super racist on live telly. But it wasn't just old white men creating drama. There was also a young white man causing a stir. A 16-year-old pop sensation caused chaos simply by arriving at an airport and then singing at a school. Join us as we remember when Justin Bieber broke New Zealand. Kia ora koutou and welcome to Remember When, your weekly dose of pop culture nostalgia in Aotearoa, brought to you by The Real Pod. My name is Jane Yee and I'm joined by the baby to my Alex Casey and Duncan Grieve.
What am I?
You're one of the babies.
Are you ludicrous?
You are absolutely ludicrous, Duncan Grieve. Biebermania. 16-year-old floppy-haired Justin Bieber, he came to our fair country on a promo tour.
That's why I didn't, in my mind, he didn't get here during that first wave because that was so intense. Like, obviously he's on some level a bigger star now, but there was something about the intensity of the baby era that you sort of like, how did we make the schedule? It must have been some mistake.
It's definitely one of those things where, like, anyone over 25 was like, who? And everyone under 18 was at Auckland Airport waiting for him to arrive late at night, you know? He had just he'd released his first album proper, Believe, I think it was called. And I was working at Universal Music and organising his Auckland promo tour. So there was no concert, it was purely just promo.
Does that ever happen now? Like, do people just arrive just to knock about for a bit and then go home?
Yeah, they do. And what happens in these situations sometimes, and what happened with Justin Bieber, is that, like, he's kind of starting to be a bit of a big deal and the promo tour's booked in. But then by the time he got here, he was a massive deal, right? Because I think if he was as massive as he was when he landed, maybe when we were booking it, maybe we wouldn't have got it, you know? Maybe we would have had more important things to do.
Or he might have had a show booked, right?
Yeah. But he had, just before he came to New Zealand, he'd had mall stampedes happen in New York and in Paris. And then they had to cancel an appearance on the Today Show in Australia because a whole load of Believers turned up and, like, stampeded the set. So we were told we were going to do, like, a classic St. Luke's Mall appearance, and we no longer could do that. And so we dreamed up a live performance at a school. It would be something that would be won by a Belieber who would make a Justin come to our school promotional video, and the winning video would get chosen and off he'd go and perform at the school.
It's very kind of sort of early YouTube, like because he was famously, like, was he discovered on
Yeah,
YouTube?
he was like the biggest YouTube star.
And even the idea of, like, making there was so much novelty around the idea of you can make your own video now, you know, and. It's sort of so evocative of that first innocent era of user-generated content.
He was, it was madness. I don't know. I'll talk about the airport first. So we tipped off Believers because we weren't supposed to tell anyone when he was coming in, but we were like, we can't have Auckland be the place where there's no, like, mayhem when he arrives. So we tipped off Believers as to his arrival time.
That? Where are they?
On Twitter.
Okay.
They're on everyone's on Twitter,
okay.
right?
This is not MySpace now. This is a new era.
Did you have a burner account?
I think we just used our U-Music one and just contacted some people in the DMs.
It is funny that when natural stampedes are happening in New York and Paris and you're kind of like
we have to have a
micro-targeting
stampede.
people.
Yeah. It worked though. I don't think we've ever had an airport in chaos like that in this country, there were many, I don't know, hundreds, thousands, I'm not sure how many, but there were a lot, and it was properly dangerous. And Bieber came out and he had to make his way through the crowds. Someone stole his hat.
Oh my
This
God,
became a whole
that's
thing.
right.
Do you remember?
Yes.
Someone stole his hat. Someone knocked over his mama. In fact, he tweeted, not happy that someone stole my hat and knocked down my mama. Come on, people.
Damn.
Reasonable tweet, but he was properly pissed off about it. Like properly, just kept like raging about it throughout the whole time.
Yeah, well, that's what we'll talk about his other media appearances. But
Yes.
He seems like he is really sulky the whole time he's here.
So much. So he goes to the school, Strathallan, ACG Strathallan, which is a really quite well-to-do school out in Papakura. And he's not there. He's there by design. Okay, so we had to run the school competition. We knew you can't just like have a kid win a competition and then go to the school. By the way, we're bringing Justin Bieber and a heap of press along. Is that okay with you? We had to kind of rig it. And this is the first time I'm telling the story.
This is
Scandal.
amazing. This is total scandal, Queenie.
Yeah, this is complete scandal queenie. And it almost went like really belly up because it was a promotion done via ZM. And the student in question that had been pre-selected didn't submit the best video. There were some people went all out and made these great videos, and so we kind of had to come up with a reason why ZM couldn't show the winning video, because it was like worried about backlash from other believers that the kid might get targeted, because it was actually just like clearly not the winning video. We approached another school in Auckland who turned us down.
Oh, really?
And and then there was another school who the students got all upset thinking their principal had turned it down, but we had never approached them in the first place. So it turned it like,
Wow.
I was so scared we were going to get exposed for rigging it at that time.
It's like a
So scared.
geopolitical event for Auckland schools.
Yeah.
Is that the norm for those sorts of appearances? Because Chingy performed at my high school one lunchtime and it seemed very relaxed. He just kind of walked in.
I can't speak to others. I can only speak to this one because the management was, we're talking Scooter Braun here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Met Scooter.
Future villain.
Yeah, so the management around Justin also being 16 was very, very, very tight.
And he's a wee 16.
He's a wee 16.
If a sort of a reasonably strong teenage girl could pick him up and run off, and that might be the last we ever heard from him.
He is so tiny and so 16, like 14, if anything.
I thought he was
not.
much younger. I thought he was like 13 when he was here for the
Yeah,
first time.
he was not, but he was not like an old for his age kind of a guy.
Yeah.
He travelled with his mum, Patty. I shared a car with her. The car ride from the airport was like something out of a movie. We had believers smacking on the windows and chasing us to the hotel. It was so exciting.
What's the vibe like from him and his mum and the entourage? Are they like still loving it, or are they kind of exhausted by the thing? Like what's the are they happy to be in New Zealand, or is this just a bit like, oh, annoying that we have to go to this bad country now?
100% that one. I mean, I don't think it was like it was like a work day, They were
Yeah.
kind of like, wow, cool, we're in Aotearoa, amazing opportunities. They were just like, get in the car.
Can I have my hat back?
Mum booked in just a whole load of massages. I barely saw her with Justin. And yeah, it was very much Scooter kind of controlling the Justin train. But he was a brat. I'm going to say this here and now. Justin Bieber was a brat.
Incredible.
I was
scoop.
trying to explain to him in the gym where the concert was taking place at the school that, and then you're going to call it, when you go up, this is the name of the girl who won, so make sure you mention her. And he is just like looking past me, he's bouncing a basketball.
Yeah, he's huge into basketball, right?
And then does a fakie to my face, like throws the basketball at my face, and then does that thing where he puts out his hand out in front and catches it just before it hits my nose.
Wow.
And then just walks off. And I'm like, I'm trying to explain to you the order of
Wow.
events.
That is horrible.
I know. Anyway, he was a kid. Other things that happened, Polly Gillespie was very upset she didn't get a one-on-one interview, and she just berated me over that at the school.
I love the politics of who gets and doesn't get the interview. Like,
And we also we barred. We remember that, what was the Allied Press or whatever it was?
yeah, ADT.
AP. No, not Allied Press. The
Associated Press.
Associated Press. So that was like they used to like do stories that would get wired out around the world, and they missed the cutoff deadline to get into the RSVP to get into the school, to cover it at the school, and they absolutely hit the roof. But Bieber's management were very strict. If they weren't on the door list, they couldn't come. It was just the whole thing was really wild.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Kia ora, I'm Alex Casey, senior writer at The Spin-Off. We wouldn't exist without the ongoing support of our generous members. If you're able to, you can make a donation at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. So when did he end up on C4 with Drew Nemia for about 400 hours? Was this the same tour?
This was the same tour. So much happened.
Remember when?
Oh, I mean that.
You can probably explain this better than I can.
Because on YouTube, I think it's still there. You can watch the entire broadcast down, including during the video and ad breaks.
Yeah.
So you can see all the small talk between Drew Nemia and Justin Bieber. And Bieber does not want to be there.
No.
And Drew Nemia is trying his best. And like Justin Bieber's like, I like your jeans, man. He's like, yeah, thanks, man. They're Federation. I can probably hook you up. He's like trying to be so cool. But then I was like, shit, if anyone had that much time to talk to Justin Bieber, you would say something embarrassing as well.
Yeah, you would. Of course you would.
I can say anything that wasn't. Like, that'd be almost impossible.
So I can tell you a little bit about that too, because I used to do the TV servicing for Universal, which means I work quite closely with C4. And we got permission. They got permission to upload all of that stuff, but we had to take out one bit. And that bit was either the Universal, I think it was the Universal, I don't actually think it was Scooter, walking in, getting Justin's phone off him and sending a tweet. And they could not have that in there.
Because it would seem inauthentic.
Because, Justin's Twitter following was a really big thing.
Yeah, I remember.
And, Justin tweeted as himself, don't knock down my mama,
goodness.
So we had to take that out, and otherwise,
Incredible. And it's all there. I feel like I remember him getting just bombarded with pineapple lumps and LMP and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
and like tiny gumboots. Or maybe that was on What Now? Because
that
also
was
did What Now.
And that was the LMP.
That was the LMP explosion where another super fan had kind of brought him a giant scrapbook of stuff and all this tat, like just New Zealand rubbish, including a big bottle of LMP, which he pulls out upside down. And you're like, uh-oh. Unscrews it. Massive LMP explosion. He is so pissed off.
Let's watch that.
International superstar, the smile turned to a frown. And it's going to be everywhere. Oh, no. Oh, rookie mistake. We'll get that t-shirt.
Oh, that's classic. You guys gave it to me all shaken
Oh,
up.
shaken up.
That's classic.
Okay,
Oh,
hang on.
he
We'll
is a
keep that.
child.
Keep
Wait.
that there. But I've got one more present to give you, my friend.
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather get dried off first.
Justin walked out of the interview. Awkward. What do we do? Would this leave a bad impression of New Zealand forever? Would JB ever return to
That's
Aotearoa?
Universal Music.
Yeah. All right, they'll do.
It's amazing how
We've got
much
to-
umbrage he takes at the comment rookie mistake as well. Like, he's like rookie mistake and storms off.
Of
it's
course.
amazing.
They shook it. They set that up. They shook it up, and that was his theory. It went to court. They settled out of court on that one. Something else about that location that suddenly brings back memories of Justin Bieber, and you're talking about the tat. One youth TV presenter, I won't name the names, but you guys know who, gave Justin, after her interview with him, a really tacky New Zealand souvenir wallet, like I wouldn't even call it pleather. It was trying to be leather, but it was basically plastic.
If you fail to be pleather, you're really struggling.
With a ticky on the front. And on the inside, the only thing that was in there, biro pen, straight onto the fabric, email address and phone number of said youth TV presenter who interviewed Justin Bieber.
That's sort of so much, but not nearly enough as
I know,
well.
and it's so sad because that just sat in my office. Like she would have been like, here's my shot. With this
Did you take away her
16-year-old, I
shot?
might add. Well, we tried to give him, they don't want any of the things.
He's like, I've been dying. I need a new wallet.
All of you Beliebers out there who make, because we had boxes of stuff that people sent to the record label, gave to Justin throughout his whirlwind tour, all just sat in my office for ages.
It's
Just sat there.
isn't it?
Yeah. The hat came back, by the way.
That's right.
He
right.
moaned and moaned about this bloody hat so much that the Belieber returned it.
Well, I mean, that's theft, isn't it?
It is.
It is theft at the end of the day.
It is. I mean, I think the media, got in touch with the police and all that and were like, is this a crime? And the police were like, technically, yes, no one's laid a complaint, so they probably got quite scared when the police got involved.
Is this also when that German thing happened?
Yeah, let's look at that. That was also part of the C4 thing.
God, what a run. I mean, you want publicity.
I know. This was all went worldwide too.
Okay, Justin Bieber, is German for basketball. True or false?
Is what?
Is German for basketball. True or false?
German?
German. Sorry, that's the Kiwi accent going on there. German, German.
I don't know what that
Let me
means.
look here. German. German.
Is German for? I don't know what that means.
Okay,
we
don't
say that in America.
We'll move on.
I like
Okay.
basketball. If that's what you're asking me.
Yeah, why not? He likes basketball.
Oh, God.
I love it so much.
Oh,
We don't have that in America.
Not since World War II.
It just, like, Drew Nemia wearing this Justin Bieber t-shirt. It's so intense. It's poor little bloke.
Yeah.
that's the same T-shirt. That's the same day, David. Like there was a lot going on that day. One final thing from me that I recall from that time. Security guard Kenny, bit sketchy. Was like it was just really badly wanted me to come to America and make him some key lime pie.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is this a known person?
It's his
is it
it's
just-
his security
okay.
guard who's the guy who's always in the photos.
I
It's like
see.
it's Kenny,
I
it's Justin
see.
Bieber and Kenny.
Yeah.
But I still have his torch. So who wins?
Door's still
Me.
open. It's like a calling card. That's what people do, isn't it?
I think actually no. To be fair on the guy, I think he was going to make me key lime pie. When he found out I'd
Yeah.
never had key lime pie, I was like, "Well, you got to come over. I'm going to make you some key lime pie." I was like, "No, thank you."
Do you think now Justin Bieber walks into the room, does he remember you?
No.
What if we put a basketball in his hand?
No, I think no. I reckon I'm not the only person who's done that too, and I don't. He would not remember me at all. Absolutely no way.
I
Sorry.
would assume he would remember no one.
I don't
in New
think.
Zealand.
I don't think anyone in that entire party remembers me. Remember who? Not her. What happened next? Well, he wrote some more songs, got real famous, more famous, came back, did some shows, very publicly up and down with a few dramas, very publicly at Hillsong for a time.
He left a monkey at a restaurant.
Who
Remember that?
doesn't? Salgo was the Salgo area was probably like his most newsworthy thing as far as I'm concerned. But then they went out from 2011 to 2018, ending just a few months before he got engaged to Hailey Baldwin, who, in researching this episode, I learnt he met when she was like 12 or something. They first met when she was 12. Not like that. Not like get in a relationship.
He was 12
met.
as well?
No, I think he was like 16. I think he's
Okay.
older than her. And, like Alec Baldwin, they just, shook hands. She reckons she was never a believer, but she presumably is now.
Wow.
It was such a. The thing is, like, yes, he's a sort of a bigger, more consequential star now than he was then, when it could very easily have been just a flashpoint moment. But in terms of the, like, various manias we've had this century, maybe One Direction at their peak were above it, but nothing else that I can recall. Like, it was so intense. And the fact of him being here during, like, that was, I mean, I'm not saying it was the all-time peak, but it was during the period when it was as frothy as it ever got. And just so cute seeing him on all of our kind of crappy shows and our host just manfully trying to deal with what is both the best and worst talent you could ever encounter. Really.
He gets forced into an All Blacks jersey as well in C4, I think, later in that Select Live broadcast.
Oh, look, and he was made to bungee jump, like all the hits. All the hits. Pineapple Lumps, bungee jumps, Alan, like everything.
And kudos to an amazing tour
Thank
organised,
you.
because all of those moments live in my head still. And I imagine, I did not know they all happened within the space of 24 hours.
I love
That's
that most
incredible.
of those moments would have been like complete disasters for us.
Yeah.
but treasured memories for you.
Just amazing. And at least, his relationship with New Zealand wasn't totally fractured. Worked famously very closely with Paris Goebel later, in 2015. So not a total loss.
He remembers who she is.
It's so cute the way, it's just an aside, but when, especially in that era, anyone who'd come here, we just had well, here's all our stuff. What do you think of our stuff? And every celebrity's like, I guess that's some stuff. Yeah. Pretty cool.
And then it's front page of the Herald.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us as we wound back the clock to Biebermania. Don't forget, if you're enjoying this podcast, go to The Real Pod Extra on Substack. That's therealpod.substack.com. I'm going to put up some pictures from that time, if you're wanting to put a visual to it. Also, you can become a paid subscriber and get our extra episode of The Real Pod every week direct to your inbox. What a lovely time, and you get to support us doing this thing that we do. Thank you very much, everyone. Alex, Duncan, thank you. Tiahia, thank you. Justin Bieber, just the best. Thanks for remembering with us.
Do you find it hard staying optimistic with all the financial news in the media? I'm Bernard Hickey, and on my podcast, When the Facts Change, I'm here to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of economics in Aotearoa. So join the conversation every Friday on When the Facts Change, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in partnership with KiwiBet.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spin-Off. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spin-Off member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate. The Spin-Off Podcast Network.